Reaction to York moving ahead to the red control zone. I'm joined live by Vaughan Mayor Mauricio Bevilacqua. Thank you so much, as always, for joining us this afternoon. First off, I want to get your reaction to your region moving into the red control zone. Does this surprise you at all?
Well, I think we presented a very smart case as to the reason why we should be in the red zone. I'm very glad that the Premier and his team have listened to Dr. Kurji, our medical officer of health here in York Region. And I think I also want to take this opportunity to thank the residents of York Region and the city of Vaughan for being very disciplined, focused, and determined to move forward. What we have witnessed here in the city of Vaughan and in York Region has been a decline in numbers, and all indicators show quite clearly that we are moving in the right direction.
What were some of the leading indicators for bypassing the gray zone and going straight to the red control zone?
Well, it basically comes down to incidents, the numbers declining. There's a whole set of factors that Dr. Kurji looks at very, very carefully with his team. And the interesting thing about this is that Dr. Kurji, throughout the pandemic, has been one of the medical officers that has looked at the issue in a very comprehensive manner and has given that type of advice to the provincial table. There's no question about, Jamie, these are not ordinary times, but we have to factor in a couple of things. We have to factor in, first and foremost, the health and well-being of the citizens, but we also have to look at the economy as well, because part and parcel of mental health is also related to the economic status of our city and indeed the country and the world.
What are you concerned about, I guess, the so-called border hoppers, some people from the GTA or Toronto who's still in lockdown, but some regions are slowly opening up, and obviously there must be concerns from some residents and even business owners of people going from one region that is locked down to regions that are slowly reopening. What's the message you want to send to those individuals who are thinking, maybe I might head up to Vaughan for a haircut?
Look, I think in the greater Toronto area, we share in the benefits and the risks of our common citizenship. There are many people that come from Toronto that work here in the city of Vaughan. There are people that access services here in the city of Vaughan. I don't want to use this issue to divide people in the greater Toronto area. That's just not my style. I think we should be unified in the fight against COVID-19. I think that people in Toronto and Peel, for example, they've been given stay-at-home orders, which are pretty clear. Now, should they, for whatever reason, need to come to the city of Vaughan or indeed the York Region, I simply ask them to follow the rules, follow the protocols, and follow the regulations that the province and the region have clearly outlined to everyone.
We're pretty much a year into this pandemic, and, we're still learning so much about the COVID-19 and the coronavirus, and especially given the news as of recent with these new variants, I can only imagine that must be another concern for you as mayor, given the numbers that have been fluctuating as of recent, but also the uptick in some of these new variants.
Yes, absolutely. You have to be very, very careful. You have to be very respectful of the variants and COVID-19, obviously, because one thing we have done, I think, in this country and globally, we've underestimated the power of COVID-19, and perhaps we have overestimated our capacity of our healthcare system to deal with it, and individuals. But we have also learned a lot since last March to today. Lessons that we've learned in the first and second wave are very important to dictate what we will do in the future. And the approach taken by Dr. Kurji is very much in keeping with that philosophy.
Vaughan Mayor Mauricio Bevilacqua, always appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Jamie, stay safe.
You too.